Hey, what's up? I'm Jabari Saunders, host of the Second Half Podcast. And before I sat in this chair behind this mic, I was a two-time All-American who played pro basketball overseas. When I started my second half, I worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and also some of your favorite athletes. Welcome to the Film Room, where I'll put you up on game of what's going on in the sports industry, so you can make your next move your best move. Let's get it. Sports and technology are basically one and the same in these days. But I got a question for you. Is technology starting to ruin sports? No, look at this for a second. When you look at the landscape of the game, we all use technology, whether it's to look at our stats, to pick up our phone and check out our highlights and plays. And of course, you know, you're watching the game, and we're also looking at how officials are using it. They're going back to the replay. They're going back to the instant replay. We love technology. But I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, quick question. Is technology ruining sports for us? Let's look at this. Look, I understand we look at the data and we look at analytics all the time, and that's a whole nother conversation. But of course, when we're watching games and we're watching film, we consistently see athletes saying, go to the wall. We see the finger waving right there after every play. It slows down the game. Then we take that time to go back and review it. They spend 3, 4, 5 minutes, especially in the beginning when they first instituted official reviews. It took 5, almost 10 minutes sometimes just to figure out if it was the right call. So then we started to see it get a little bit quicker, and so we started to see more reviews happen during the games. But quite frankly, to me, I don't know if that was truly helping the game. It slowed things down. And then we also started using technology to, how do I beat the system? So because of the official reviews, if I know consistently, James Harden, that I can draw a foul in a certain way, I can literally just hit your hand and it's going to be a foul. They go to the review and it's going to put me on the free throw line. Free points for me. But I always look at official reviews, and the way that we're using technology is now we're starting to watch games in a different light. We're starting to see ways of people that are manipulating the system, and we're just utilizing the data that we receive from technology to play the game. So we aren't even really watching sports anymore. We're honestly just watching data perform on the court or on the field or the pitch. Even look at the World Cup. We've seen how many different official reviews using the VAR system. And of course, there was that stat that someone just put out there. I can't remember the name, but of 8 of the last 8 matches within the final 16, 8 calls that were reviewed by the VAR system were in favor of the bigger country or the bigger, brasher country. The Argentinas, of course, you saw that against Egypt. You saw France. You saw, all of the bigger name, like you saw all the bigger name ones, they would automatically receive it in their favor of whatever the VAR system was. And that just had me thinking, I'm like, now it's kind of politics controlling, or at least you can argue that. That's just something to really look at when we look at technology and how we're using it. Here's another aspect of it, of how we're using technology. You know, when we look at basketball specifically, we utilize data and say, oh, the best shots on the court are corner 3, a layup, and a free throw. So now that the focal point is to constantly push for more corner threes, more corner threes, more corner threes. Same thing for soccer. The push and the strategy has become get the ball down the field, down the line, to then equate to more corner kicks. A lot more corner kicks allows for more opportunities to have a goal, score a goal. But specifically with basketball, it's like, man, okay, if those are the 3 shots that we see that are the most efficient based off of the stats that statisticians are taking, then the entire game is predicated around a corner 3, a free throw, and a layup, because those are the 3 most efficient shots in the game. So now we aren't even watching the game being played anymore. You know, you look at football, okay, if I know on first down, I'm going to run the ball 95% of the time because stats say that that's what I'm going to do, running the ball to the right side of the field, you're going to continue to do it. So we aren't even really watching the sport, whether it's basketball, football, baseball. We're watching data come to life. And that's very different from being a true fan of the sport, where we can watch somebody just shake and wiggle and get past somebody and go score one-on-one, or, one-on-2 splitting the defense on a basketball game, or you see someone break away like Saquon Barkley, jumping over someone backwards, all because of just how they figured out how to play the game. It's more about intuition versus statistics. And that was the beauty of the game that we had when we would just go out, roll the ball, and play. Yeah, you utilized, set plays and, organization in that space, but you really just got out there to go play, and you wanted to be efficient and effective the best way that you possibly could and go out and win. Yes, you knew who your players were, you knew who was on the court, but the goal was to go out and go win. Also, you just had fun while doing it and figuring out ways to play. Nobody came up with the killer crossover just by a stat saying, oh, if you dribble twice through your legs, it's going to help you get past the defender. No, that was just all based off of instinct and what I knew the defender couldn't do. They can't change feet to go this way and then I can swap back to go this way. Things of that nature. And so I look at that, I'm saying, man, the flow of any game right now is all predicated around data. So we're truly just watching data come to life and be played and not on the field or the pitch. But quite frankly, that's not sports to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is technology and data, is it ruining the game or is it actually helping the game? You let me know in the comments. Film Room. Peace.